Cool. Welcome back to the 99th episode of Four Dads Podcast. It has been a long, fun experience. Congratulations, huge congratulations to Teeds, adding in addition to his family, a little baby girl.
Thank you.
Uh, Missed you, man.
I know. Yeah, same.
It's been a while. I mean, even as things were kind of getting down to the wire, it's been a while. So I'm happy to hear. I'm happy to hear Stephanie. Um, Everything went smoothly. Happy to hear you guys are doing good. Um, yeah, man. How's Carter adjusting
Yeah.
to it?
He's doing better. He's definitely doing better. He was very kind of indifferent when we brought her home. Like, okay, yeah, can I hold her? Okay. And then he was just like, mine. She's mine. I want to hold her. I want to play with her. I want to hold her. I want to go say hi. I want to do this. And anytime that he's around anybody at our house and they're falling asleep or they're closing their eyes, laying down, he goes over and jumps on him. And that's like, you can't do that with her. Anytime she closes her eyes, like, no, get away from the baby. Get away. We just put her down. It took forever. Please, please don't do it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot better. Carter was a lot more, my son was a lot more difficult than she is, I feel like. And that kind of set us up in a better way, in my opinion, because at least we had an idea of what to expect on the worst end of things
Yeah,
compared to now, compared to having a great baby and then having like a much more difficult one. That would be more night and day. So it's a lot easier in that side of things, feel a lot more confident. But yeah, it was about like what, a month. She came a little later than expected. And I think it's probably been about like a month hiatus or whatever, or maybe over a month of this podcast because I wasn't sure when she was going to come,
yeah,
and like yeah, so it's crazy. First podcast of 2025 at the
yeah.
very last day of January,
Hmm.
and yeah, dude, I can't wait. And next month, me and you finally going to get out on another round. I think the first time since October, right when we went out to Carmel Valley
Hmm.
Ranch.
Yep.
I'm hoping that we're
I
gonna
mean,
get some good
I
weather.
wouldn't call that golf, but it was a good experience.
Yeah, that was wild. That was the windiest I think I've ever played golf, and like so windy.
Yeah.
Like the crazy thing was like when you're in like those, like we were there, it was like cool, right? It wasn't freezing, but like it was cold ish, because of how windy it was.
Hmm.
But dude, the next few days, my face was so red from just
Oh
like
yeah.
not putting on sunscreen or
I felt
whatever.
it on my lips.
And
My
I'm
lips
like,
were so chapped.
I would have no idea because I was so cold. I didn't feel it,
Hmm.
like, and then the fact that like I still got so red, I was like, whoa, like sun just, I guess the wind doesn't blow those rays away, that just
Yeah.
pushes right through them. It's freaking wild, dude. There's been a lot of stuff that's been happening, since our month plus hiatus, dude. You got
Hmm.
the golf league finally started.
Yeah.
Uh, Bryson testing out some new clubs, Avoda coming out with some new clubs. Shane Lowry hitting another freaking hole in one at a
Yeah.
scenic par three in the PGA Tour,
Hmm.
and some other things among that. But what do you want to get started with first?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to just kind of open it up and just see how you're doing. I mean, for me, well, to kind of go back with what you're experiencing right now is kind of in the same place of where I'm at with our oldest daughter. She's not so much of like wanting to like hold, but just kind of like reading, like sitting next to her, reading her books, like getting red in her face and be like, "Hi, sissy, hi,"
Yep.
the craziness, and then
He's always like, I want to
um,
see her. I want to see her. And it's like, she's asleep. Get away. You don't know how to
yeah,
see her. If you knew how to
yeah,
just go over there and look, yes. But you go over there, try to give her a kiss, and then you lay on her, like with your
mhm,
body. And I'm like, no, no, get
yeah,
away. Stay
yeah.
away.
Does she have like her own crib, or is she like in a snoo, like a
She's in a snoo next to me in the bed,
okay?
or on my side of the bed, but um, we usually just have her in the dock tot in the living room,
Yeah,
on the
I mean
couch.
that's exactly what we had too. I mean, again, luckily, Eileen just kind of like would walk up and just be like, "Hi, sissy," and then like just go and then like go run,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
eventually we just kind of were like, okay, let's get the snoo out. Like, or we had the snoo out, but I was just like, let's just start putting her in there, get it used to like being in the dark and going night
hmm
night. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Other than that, it's been good. I mean, for me, I I've been playing golf. Um, been playing pretty good. So for Christmas, I got this Isis bought me a swag putter. And
What?
yeah, and dude, it was so funny too because she showed me like, because I was like, I got it, I opened it, and I was like, whoa, like this is sick, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it's like hopefully it's like the right size and everything, and
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
You should have asked me about the specs. Ah.
well, yeah, well, because then what happened is you can't send those back. I mean, like I'd have to go over to like Club Champion, have my buddy Josh adjust it. But she like shows me a picture. She's like, I saw you just kept looking at this like in your office, like constantly just kind of flirting, like taking a look, flirting around with it. And she shows me like a picture where I'm like looking, I'm just kind of like this, like a kid, just like, wow, look at that thing, you know.
Kind of went behind your back just to go whoop, little snap,
Well,
little
but then
photo.
all the specs were there. So it was like 35 and a half inch length,
That's
2 degrees
amazing.
of loft, like the
Oh,
grip,
that's amazing.
everything. And dude, it like came, like when I opened it, I was just like, oh my God, it's perfect. Like the grip's there. I was like, let me see the sheet. And I looked at him like, where'd you get all this? She's like, and then that was what she told me. So, but
That's awesome.
I've been putting lights out with that thing.
What kind?
Um,
Was it like a blade putter? Or what kind of putter is it?
it's a mid mallet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a center faced or center balanced putter with like the, what would you call it? The, not the plumber's neck, but like the gooseneck
Yeah. Hmm.
with the shaft that goes kind of bent right into it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, dude, it's a hot putter face. Like I know a lot of their stuff is kind of moved to their head covers and collaborations and stuff, but they make a really good putter.
Well, how? Well, I know those putters are pretty hot, like just in general, kind of like Scotty Cameron, where like you have to kind of get lucky to get them. Did she get it through swag, or are they not as difficult to get like their head covers are?
No, no, they're not as difficult as their head covers, but she got it right through swag, and she's got me like one of the generic ones, or like
Hmm.
the, I guess their own house customized ones,
Gotcha.
right? So it wasn't like anything like paint filled or
Yeah.
designed in
Right.
any
Okay.
way.
Okay.
Wasn't anything like that, but it was like funny too because I was looking at it, and I at the time I just had gotten like a TaylorMade Spider,
Mm.
right, X7, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, dude, the price of this TaylorMade putter is literally almost the same price as the swag putter. I
Mhm.
was like,
How much? How much were they?
it was $4.99.
Okay, that's not
Yeah,
terrible for. I mean,
no,
yeah,
it's the
no, for
Scotty
at least for
Cameron,
swag, I would expect like 750, like 800.
right?
At least
Yeah,
personally, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I was just stoked, but everything has been great. Just been just adjusting.
Hmm.
Um, but no, man. I mean, to your point, there's a lot of big things that have kind of changed, or a lot of big things going on in golf right now. And one of the things that I want to talk about is the TGL League.
Hmm. Hmm.
Have you gotten a chance to watch any highlights of it or watch anything live?
I watched a little bit of it live. I think it's on ESPN, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
like what it's on, and I've watched some. And to be honest, like I I think for pro players, I'm like, eh. I think it'd be such a cool thing to have for like a guy's golf trip, a bros golf trip, like experiencing that. It's like the ultimate stimulator because you have real grass, you have a real sand, or maybe not real sand, but whatever they use it, the Masters,
No,
which isn't even real sand.
it's real sand.
No,
It's
no,
real
but
sand.
but the Masters just it's not even considered sand. It's like
Yeah,
granulated quartz or something weird like
yeah.
thing like that, like different stuff. But like that would be such a fun golf trip because like it's so realistic. You have the greens that are there. You don't have to walk that far. Like it'd be so sick to experience that. Don't get me wrong, watching the pros do it is cool, but like you can only get in so many fans to watch it. Obviously you can get the goal is to obviously have more people watch it on TV, obviously, compared to
Mhm.
in live, but like that would be so sick. Instead of like going to a Top Golf, take me to one of those places, dude. That would be such an epic, just like 18 holes, the rough, the sand, the green side, the chipping. I think that'd be so cool. I mean, I thought it was a cool concept. Of course, I feel like everyone kind of freaked out and loved it the first what was it, matchup or however they're calling them, their first ever game that they had.
Hmm.
I think it was Tiger, right? He was part of the first one,
No, the
right?
first one was like Shane Lowry.
Oh,
Uh,
maybe
it was
for sure.
Shane. Yeah, the first one was like Shane Lowry's group and uh, Max Homa. I think it was like those guys.
Homa's not
Was
part
it?
of.
No,
I
no,
thought
no. I'm sorry.
Homa's
No,
with
you're
Tiger
right. You're
Woods.
right. Let me see.
Well, I watched the Tiger Woods one. I know when Tiger was
Yeah,
playing, it like
that was
blew
the
up,
best
right?
one.
That was
Yeah,
one
that
that
was the
everyone's
best one.
like, "Oh, Kevin Kisner, what do you call it? Hitting one of his bunker shots, just like sculling the crap out of it. Somehow
Yeah.
didn't hit anybody." Um, but I thought it was cool. It was entertaining. There was a lot of banter going back and forth, which I'm all for. Especially because you don't see that the shot clock was obviously a huge thing, and they said it was really loud. It was a big, bold number, so you couldn't miss it. And
Hmm.
people that were there said that it was really cool to see that because of the pace of play, the issue that's been going on in the PGA Tour. But I feel like after that, it was just kind of like, eh. I
Yeah.
mean, eh.
Yeah. Exactly. 1,000%. I mean, I think the first one was just, it was kind of boring. I mean, the intros were like really slow. Oh, it was Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler was in that one.
Mm,
It was Shane Lowry and like Ricky Fowler and a few other guys. It was like Bay Club or the Bay Golf Club versus the New York Golf Club.
mm.
But I just like I get excited just to kind of see the beginning, and then after that, I'm like switch,
Yeah.
right, or go
Mhm.
to YouTube Golf and watch something else, right?
Right,
And
right, right.
I think the format is cool, but there's a real problem. There's a real problem that the PGA has with this, and also ESPN is encountering now too, which is exactly what I said. People are watching the beginning of it and so quick to turn it off after the first shot, right? And would rather go watch some YouTubers go smack it around at a course that they wish that they were at,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And I was looking at some statistics of this. So the PGA Tour since 2020 is averaging almost a 30 to 35% decline in viewership on for live events, except for majors.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
I
majors are
mean,
pretty consistent. They've actually since 2020 they've only seen a 10% drop, but everything else for the PGA Tour is seeing a 30 to 35% drop. When Live came out, Liv's highest request was like their first event where
right.
everyone wanted to watch it, but they don't have it.
Yep.
In the last 2 years since Live has been around, they're averaging 500,000 viewers per event, which is crazy, being that like a lot of it was on CBS,
No, it was on, what was it? What's the
YouTube
other
Live.
no, what was the other channel? G something W. Um, CW? CW.
Oh, CW, yeah, that's what I
Like, you
meant.
don't
Not
even know what the
CBS.
channel is. Like,
Yeah,
nothing's on it.
CW.
Like, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
And so now with their partnership with Fox, they're projecting to be seeing like at least a 20 to 30% increase in viewership.
dude, they should.
Uh,
I mean, you have every shot.
yeah.
Not and then you'll have more access on the TV compared to on your phone and things like that, like
Well,
YouTube, like you were saying, TV.
well,
But
what's crazy with what they're doing with the application is they're doing the like the Google casting, right? To where you could take it from your phone, put it on there, and like keep that
yep,
interactivity kind of right compared to
yeah,
just watching it straight on Fox, which is awesome.
yeah,
Um, but like TGL, I mean TGL viewership, their highest viewership that they've had thus far is like 275,000 when Tiger and Rory or when Tiger's first event kind of kicked.
dude, that's low,
That's
especially
really
being on
low.
ESPN, like the
Hmm.
top network that everyone knows about. That channel's on a lot of the times, a lot of like college campuses just in the background, and you can't even
Hmm.
have that thing going. That's
Yep.
wild.
Yep.
Um, I believe it because I mean, like, it's a cool concept, but I feel like it's just I don't know. I just There's a reason why simulation golf is simulation golf and pro golf is pro golf, right? Like,
oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Not 200. I'm sorry. It was 680 and 82.
Still under $1 million on a primetime spot. I think it was like 5 to 8 p.m. You know, like when people are off work, when they try to schedule primetime events. You would assume for the first ever that there would at least be like a few million, just out of curiosity.
And then check this out. And then week 3, when it featured Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler, it was 450,000.
Man, that's got to be such a big slap in the face, dude. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's kind of like how are you going to consider this like actual competitive golf when you're saying that Live isn't, and Live is spending money to then go into different places around the world that honestly we the viewers, we the patrons have been asking for the PGA Tour to like find new places to play. Like seeing the same thing over and over is kind of like, okay, well we know that Justin and Jordan struggle on this hole. Like, who's gonna, and then on top of that is like, I don't know, man. I think the PGA is they're really trying to put a lot into Rory to get him to try and be like the new Tiger, right? To really be the face.
They've been trying for a while, man.
Well, they've been trying ever since the whole Live thing, but it's like still, I mean,
even before that, when Rory was hot, like 10 years ago, when he was like winning all of his majors and stuff, like he was like the next big thing. They're trying to push him, and then he's just stalled and plateaued. And he's played good golf. He's won tournaments, but he just has not won the majors.
He's winning more stuff on the DP World Tour than he is on the PGA Tour.
Dude, it's wild. Yeah, and dude, I just thought about this, but I mean, like, you're playing a virtual game, right? It's the golf league. Why not allow people to create
courses
like they do in PGA Tour 2K, right? You allow someone to do that, and then you have people vote. Like they have like all these courses, and then let the golf league or the players look at these courses, and then select one of their favorites, and then let the fans vote on what ones that they think would be fun to play on, and then they'll play on these random courses because they're fantasy. Who cares if they're fantasy or not? Because I've seen some of these. I forget what one it was, but I think it was the first day with Kevin Kisner. They had like a fairway that was like 3 diamonds. It was weird. It was just like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, okay, that's obviously just a virtual one. So I'm like, why couldn't you allow other people that would love to do that, do it?
Well, I think that might be something that might be on the play. I mean, 2K 2020 or 2025 is dropping soon. Tigers, right? Tigers back on the logo, which means he obviously has some huge piece to be on it. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe that's going to be something that when the game drops, it's going to entice more players to want to create and spend the time to create courses to then be featured on the TGL league, right? That would be something to get people involved. But again, I think for the golfer, it's just hard because you're kind of like, why don't you just go to like, why do this? Or like, why not? Why doesn't the PGA just invest in like, say we're completely revamping 2025. We're dropping all the courses except for the majors that we have already aligned for 5-10 years booked out. But like all the other events, instead of playing the Genesis at Riviera every year, why don't you go take it to LA Country Club?
They can just take it anywhere in LA. There's so many dang courses in LA. Like same thing. Like when take the area that they've been in and just take another good course in that area. You go to Chicago for I think it's the John Deere. I don't know if the Chicago area. Do that. You have places in Florida. There's how many courses are nice in Florida? There's so many places that haven't played at. Doral. That they used to play
at.
Been
a long time. Yeah, been a long time since they've gone there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that would be fun. I think that would definitely increase viewership because now it's like, ooh, I saw Grant Horvat play that course. I wonder how the PGA Tour right?
Now it's flipped. It's flipped, right? Instead of like, I saw Tiger Woods play. Let's see how I could play. Now it's like, I saw this YouTuber. Let's see how Tiger does, or how
Well, I mean, dude, I'll tell you this much. Like during 2020 when was it the U.S. Open? Was that
one that was in San Francisco?
Yeah, Harding Park. It was like, I loved seeing Tiger like get into some of those high rough areas, and I was like, I got up and down. Yeah.
How many majors? Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick.
Tiger who?
Yeah, right.
No, but
you can't hang. It's cool.
But going into so speaking of Grant Horvath, like I I saw the first 2v2 with him and Phil.
Mm,
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I think it was more of a 2v1 because Dustin's brother kind of just sucked. Austin. He was
I didn't
terrible.
see that. I saw some clips from it, but I did
Yeah.
not see like the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he was struggling just to get off the tee. I mean, he was hooking balls, and it wasn't until the end he threw some really good shots in there. They just couldn't make the putt. I mean, like Dustin came out with like 7 new putters in his bag, and he was switching. He was switching them out every hole, and he was like, "Well, he's like, my season's gonna start soon, so I got to figure it out, right?" Um, which was cool, But it was like the way that Phil and Grant were kind of complimenting each other with the way with their style of play. It
Mhm.
was super cool. Like I was like, wow, this is like I'm excited to see the next one. This is dope.
Yeah.
Um, so that was cool to see. Um, what else was going on with some YouTube golf?
Well, I mean, I like with my hiatus, dude. I've just been so off the golf out of the golf world. But the last few days, I've been like watching some stuff again. And like I said, I sent you yesterday the Bryan Bros how they came out
Mm-hmm.
to Half Moon Bay, and I'm just like I've seen every single video you posted of like Half Moon Bay, and it's like miserable, rainy or cold and windy and overcast, and they're
Yeah.
like sunny, and I'm like, dude, did they play like on the most perfect day? And I was just like, dang, dude, like they came all the way out to freaking California. Like, and this was literally like less than a month ago they were out here. It was like
Mm-hmm.
right before Christmas. And I'm like, dang, man. Like, obviously they're not gonna come to the Central Valley. Why would they come out here unless, you know,
Bryson invites him to the longest course in
well, yeah, but not even that, dude.
California.
Bryson's like him and Mike Shy, they're completely cut off. So like at least I believe so still. So they have like a whole thing going on. And but yeah, I mean, I know just in general, YouTube golf has just been still just taking off. And I feel like going back to Bryson, uh, he's obviously trying out some new clubs right now. He had the Avoda prototypes that you win a major, you win a freaking major, and you get the clubs that you want. You tell everybody that you got the right equipment finally, and you got the things that you wanted, and you want to go with someone else because they might be able to pay you more money if they can work it out with them. It's like, come on, dude.
Hold on. Let's talk about that. Let's elaborate a little bit more on that because again, like this is the new age golfer. This is what live is becoming. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry, not what live is becoming. This is what live has recreated.
Hmm.
Okay. Or this is what they've created now is I told you back in 2023 that live was going to be it's going to turn into something where they're going to have influencers coming in, right? And what is
Hmm.
everybody doing? What is everybody doing who's on live? You have the high flyers with Phil Mickelson who have their own dedicated YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You have the aces with Dustin who now announced his own YouTube channel. Like all these guys are starting to do things to try and essentially crack NIL deals as a
Hmm.
professional athlete to get
Well, did you
more
hear
money.
Bryson said that he's like, oh, I haven't made any money off of YouTube yet? I'm like, dude, shut up. You have like
You're a
over a
liar.
million people. Like, yeah, you might pay a lot of money for the video editing and your camera crew and stuff like that, but I doubt you're over. If Grant Horvat is making a good living off of doing this, I'm sure
Solid.
you're making more than him because of your name alone.
And he's now like an owner to or he's now an owner or the owner of Tacoma Irons or a
Who?
part owner.
Grant?
Great
Oh,
Horvath
really?
and Primo.
Yeah, well, I've seen him a lot in our stuff. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, when I heard that, I was like, dude, stop. Like, come on. Like, don't tell me you don't make anything. Like, come on. Yeah, it might be pennies on the dollars to what you normally make, but it's still something that if everything falls apart and you pull like not saying this derogatory, but a Tom Kim, where you're just gone completely and there's like nothing golf related. Well, at least you have a YouTube channel with over a million people that are interested in following you, and you still have that name, Bryson DeChambeau.
Mhm.
That's obsolete. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, you're right. That is a good point with everyone. All these people that they're coming out and making their YouTube channels. I mean, like, why not? It's
Why not? Exactly. That's the question. Why not? If people are, and here's the thing, it's the new age marketing.
yep.
Companies have so much money that they push to marketing that marketing people just aren't figuring out. But hey, you get one big name, all of a sudden it changes everything. I mean, dude, look at how much State Farm has pumped out in the last couple of years for Tom Brady, Steph Curry,
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes, like now Travis Kelsey.
I think
Like
Derrick Henry too, right? Like now
Derek,
he's in there.
I don't know if
He's
Derek.
remember those commercials where like he's like, "Oh, Otto," and he's like, "That's my room." And like, "What are you doing with like my couch?" You know, and he's like on the football field.
No, I haven't seen that one,
Oh no.
but still, I'm just saying like that's kind of what it's becoming, and this is where like you know Bryson is always someone that's trying to push the emblem. I think he's made that very clear.
Mhm.
So if he can have his input to basically get a one-off club and get somebody to be like, hey, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Like if it's gonna do this for me, cool. Like I'll put it in the bag. Pay me X amount of dollars, no problem. Like you'll move stuff. So um yeah, I mean I think it's crazy. I think if I think it's kind of messed up for what he's doing to the Avoda guys, especially since a lot of their stuff has kind of been around, you know, what they did for him and it is booming, but
Mhm.
it's just kind of like, you mentioned it to me that he was looking at LA golf and LA golf is becoming a what'd you say? What was the acronym?
OEM. I forget what the
OEM.
OEM.
Yeah. So what was it? An opera? No. An original equipment manufacturer or something like that.
Let me see. Original. Yep.
Yeah.
Original equipment manufacturer. Correct. Yeah.
Manufacturer. So
So yeah,
uh,
yeah. So LA
crazy.
golf shafts and yeah, I
Mhm.
mean it's so yeah, like originally the LA golf, I think they broke out just with LA with they broke out with golf shafts. So that's how they broke into the
Yeah.
golf world with
Putter
golf
shafts.
shafts, putter shafts. That's what they started with. And that's how Bryson really got into it with the putter shafts. He loved the stiffness in the putter shafts. And then they got into iron shafts, driver shafts,
Mhm.
and like expensive stuff. I think some of their stuff was up to like $1,000 for like
Yeah.
one of their shafts, and it's insane. And in my Avodas that I have a what do you call it? LA golf shafts. I forget what they're called. The L series,
Hmm.
black. I love them. They're great. They're graphite. And Bryson he has like his own Bryson series. You know, the Parade Spranic has her own
Yeah.
pink ones. You know, and everything like that. And they're not. I think I don't know how you would look like $120 a shaft for an iron. Would you call that like a good upcharge or like an expensive upcharge for an iron shaft?
That's that. I think that's more than any. I mean, their putter shafts are $400 a shaft.
Mm, okay. Yeah.
I just remember that, but their irons like that's more expensive than like steel fibers, and steel fibers are like the best, or like they're known for being like the best shaft between someone who wants the graphite feel with like the iron
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
play.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
that's
now they're trying to break into golf clubs.
well,
And they showed Bryce like Brandon yesterday. Like, dude, I went to the range yesterday, and first time that I've like legitimately just been at the range hitting instead of hitting at my buddy's house across the street. Just maybe like 15 or 20 times. You know, there I was out there for maybe like 30, 40 balls. And dude, today my abs felt like a car just ran over them, dude. I'm like, oh man, I am so out of shape. Like I didn't hit the ball terribly. I had some good shots. Obviously, I had some bad ones. I was expecting that. I really haven't swung a golf club, like I said, consistently for the last like 6 months. The last round of golf I played was in July, full round. And so it's really been out there and it was fun. It was nice to hit. Um, but yeah, I mean, going back to the whole LA golf thing, it was just surprising because I was with my with Brandon, one of the fitters of Avoda, and he was just like, "Yeah, dude, someone just sent me a picture yesterday of like Bryson seen with LA Golf on the irons that says like LA Golf, and they're not known for that, and they have like the little lead tape on it, so you know that he's definitely trying to work with something here, and yeah, I don't know what the issue is with him in Avoda or just him in
how
the Valley or whatever, but."
how crazy would it be if LA Golf Shaft was like Avoda, let's partner this so we can be the shaft, like the number one shaft provider for Avoda. Keep Bryson on there. You guys get the heads, and we make like the custom shafts.
That would be cool, but I think Bryson's just too, I don't know if ignorant or arrogant is the term, but just like he just wants to do it his own way. You know, like screw it. I don't need you. Thank you. I have what I need right here, the club. I'm going to show them, hand it to them. They're going to now do it, kind of a thing. At least that's what I gather. I don't know him personally, but like from somebody that, dude, if I were to win something, I'm making so much money, hand over fist, dollars. My family's set. My kids' are going to be set for life, and probably my grandkids down the road with just how much success I've had. The money at that end shouldn't be a big deal, because whatever you do, and if you use like the Avoda, let's say you build up Avoda, that thing's going to be just as big as TaylorMade and Titleist when you're done with it. You know, like you got to start somewhere. Like Jordan Brand started somewhere, and it didn't. It wasn't good for a while until they had Michael Jordan. But to me, I'm like, well, that's kind of messed up. I mean,
it is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty messed up, especially with just. I think, again, it's hard. It's hard to be a player in the space that is dominated by, you know, like Cobra, Callaway, TaylorMade, Titleist,
that have so much money already, that have been around forever.
Money. So for Avoda to have the success that they've had coming up already is like, I mean, it's huge for them. I mean, even Tacoma, like I was telling you, I almost thought about getting some Tacoma irons, but dude, the difference is like, yeah, if you're just a standard stock player, yeah, they're inexpensive. But the minute you start wanting to tweak, and you get the shaft that you want in there, just lie adjustments. I mean, dude, per grip was like $13 that they were charging per shaft that I wanted for just, it's the same KBS shaft, except it's just the tapered shaft, right? It was $15 to install those. Then to adjust the lies was another $5 per head.
That's insane.
So it was like, okay, so now these clubs went from being $550 to now $1,000.
Yeah.
Right, with like shipping and everything. And I was just like, I mean, dude, there's no way that the Bryan Bros are getting just a standard set right off.
100%. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Like, there's no way. So why would they go and sit there and say like, oh yeah, well, we're the most cost efficient? It's like, no, you're not. You're just like everyone else, because you're charging for every little piece, and your variety is one brand, and you're charging for everything. When normally KBS is always the free upgraded shaft, no matter what brand you work with.
Yep.
So it was interesting, but big news. We are now officially the team of Avoda.
Yeah.
Four Dads is sponsored by Avoda. Go put in Four Dads 15. Get yourself 50% off.
See what happens. Let us know what happens. No, I know. Yeah, Julio bought his first Avoda set. I'm stoked. And when we get our round in, we'll be playing with Avodas together, which will be sick. I really hope you like them. I can't wait for you to get them.
I think I will. I mean, I believe it or not, I actually went to Second Swing Golf before I pulled the trigger, and they had a set online, and so now they have like this feature where you can like request to FaceTime like an employee to kind of take a look. So I put in this request, and I was like taking a look, and I was like, just let me see the top line of the 7-iron. They're like, yeah. And so they lined it up. I'm like I'm looking at my 7-iron. I'm like, they're the same. I like it. I was like, I want to do it.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I remember when I was getting fitted, dude, I was just like, dude, these are pure. Like some of my mishits, like I recorded my whole fitting experience, and I'm just like, this is wild, dude. Like, okay, like I'm me. Like I'm not you who's like scratched to like a +1, +2. You're much more consistent.
Dude, you're a good ball striker. I mean, we're both baseball players, so we've hit repetitively off of a tee. So something that's stationary, no problem. It's like we're there. It's just a matter of if these hands are going to stay square or they
right. Exactly. And I mean, and like going slightly back to Bryson with the Avoda thing, like that's why they just came out with their Bulge irons, because he's trying to do this thing under the table, and they knew about it. They heard like, hey, but they've been telling us that he's been trying to work with other companies to try to get this right. So they're literally going through the patent process right now to get those patented, the Bulge irons. They're selling them right now. Fingers crossed that I'm able to get some. They said it takes about like 2 months for these things to get made. Like, so like if you were to put an order in today, you wouldn't get them till maybe not 2 months, because that's gonna be June. June is when they will officially be released. And by released, Brandon was telling me they order like 100 sets at a time. And so for right now, they have 100 sets that they are currently going to be ordering. And they have about 30 or 40 that have been bought as of right now, people online that have purchased them.
Mm-hmm.
And once they get that 100, then they're going to hold off till the next set of 100 gets set, because obviously they're not a massive company. So they can't just like, they don't have all the money in the world, just put up 1,000 sets of them and wait for them to, get sold. And so, and I'm just like, okay, well, they're not cheap.
No.
All I need, I'm going to go back to Brandon and kind of figure out what to do about this. But I really just I would love to keep my iron shafts and just get the heads swapped on, because I got fitted for the shafts and I love the LA Golf shafts that I got, instead of trying to sell the whole thing, even though Avoda now doesn't even sell their clubs with LA Golf shafts anymore, because they're, I don't know, the OEM thing, whatever that means, it's just making it more difficult to get access to their golf shafts as quickly as they need them. So I don't know if that makes them more pristine, or what do you call it, more rare. So like I can get more bang for my buck, because I'm just trying to be able to afford these irons, because they're about as much as an iron set, a driver, and like a 3-wood combined. But they're the Bulge, and I'm one of the few people that have actually hit those Bryson DeChambeau legit irons that he had for the US Open. And when I hit those things, dude, the mishits with those, again, because you know how to work the ball, I don't. My goal is hitting it straight. That's what I'm still just hit it straight. I have a little bit of a draw, but sometimes, I'll toe it, sometimes I'll heel it. And then, by that you get the ball that'll come back, the dispersion comes back, and dude, it is something else. And I'm just
dude, you should link the old video of your fitting, just to kind of let people know, like, see the difference. Like when you walk, when you show the club head, and just you can see the dispersion. But yeah, I remember you called me and told me, like, yeah, those are legit. I mean, you kind of had me thinking about the Bulges, but I was just kind of like, no, you know what? Like, the traditional one looks fine. Like
it looks fine. They honestly both look almost identical. I think that, like, if you look at them, the only thing is just the Bulge, and it's so slight, but
it's just I'm weird like that. It's just a passive little Bulge. It just kind of bumps you, and you're just like, excuse me. Got a concealment license for that thing?
Are you happy to see me, sir, or what? What's going on?
Yeah, those awkward elevator interactions.
But yeah, so I mean, like, I'm stoked for you. I can't wait for you to get them to hit them, because I know you're going to have them for at least a few weeks, a week or two at least, before you come on out, and we get our round in. But I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I gained maybe like 10 to 12 yards, and it's not one of those exaggerations that you see online where they're like, oh my gosh, like this year with these new drivers, you gain like 3 to 4 yards on average. And I'm like, you've said that for a decade. Why am I not hitting at 30? Why not hitting at 360 right now? Like, what?
Why am I not only hitting? Why is my 7-iron not my driver?
What the heck? Why am I still using irons? What is going on? Or why am I still using drivers? But yeah, so like, it was crazy, because I got them all bent back to normal, because I think you're probably going with the standard, what they're going with, the 5-degree gaps, because they're very strong gaps. Brandon bent mine back, so I'm like, I don't need an extra club. Just give me the freaking thing, dude. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm hoping I can pull the trigger on those someday. I'm just trying to save all my nickels and quarters, trying to find out what I can sell, how much I get my kidney for, and then maybe, go from there. My birthday's coming up. Mom and Dad, you're watching this. Just give me $1,000. That's all I need. That's all I need. I'll get the rest.
Hey, I know Mama's not going to be happy about this, but you could go to the bank and go donate for $1,500. Just an option out there.
1,500?
Yeah, dude, that's the new pay now. I was reading all about it on Facebook.
All right, we are trailing off, my friend, but okay, all right, that's an option.
For those of you who want to play golf forever, just go donate. What's the
You
nearest
have
sperm
passive
donor?
income, my friend.
Yeah, literally. And $1,500 this week, just one trip.
Oh man, that's tough. That's a hard day's work, man. Oh man.
You're talking $6,000.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's wild. All right,
4 visits.
wow. Okay. Well, yeah, but
I mean, if you donate a kidney, you could just buy a Porsche. You could buy a Porsche with that thing.
I'll pay off our pool. I'll pay off our
Pay off the
car.
house.
Yeah,
Everything.
right.
Yeah.
Because you only need one, right?
Yep, you only need one.
Okay. Till you need the other one, and the other one fails.
Or you could just get a bionic set. Just get them plugged in so they just operate, and
there we
you go.
That's all you need.
Yep. That's
so you had me.
It's $500,000 almost right there.
Say no more. Okay. Well, I think yeah, right. So where do I sign? Where can I do? I want to do this right now. But yeah, I feel like good spot to have the pod right here. Anything else to touch on? I mean, I feel like that's.
I think that there's a lot of good stuff still. I mean, we can save it. Like, yeah, dude. I just something funny that I've been playing around with that I wanted to tell you is I found a Callaway Apex like 9-wood, or it's like a UW is what it's called. It's the same loft of like a 9-wood. And I've been playing around with that as like in my extra bags. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And it's replacing like a 3-iron. I mean, if you play a 3-iron, it's like a piercing ball. It's hard to get that thing up in the air and get it to land soft, right? But man, dude, now I understand why Sahith Theegala is playing one. Why Justin Thomas is playing one.
Dude, that's why I got my 7-wood, dude. It goes like 230, 240 in the air, and it's just
so much fun.
And it's so easy to hit. Is it easy to hit?
Oh, it's like I can't tell if I'm hitting it like really freaking good or if I'm missing some parts, because it's just like it is so consistent. If I'm hitting a cut, it's like 230 on the dot carry every time. And
not just how I just have confidence with my 7-wood of just like, oh, if I haven't swung in 2 weeks and I'm taking it out of the bag for like an important shot to reach a green.
Yeah.
Like literally the last round that I played, that I actually played with it when I 7-wood was with Brandon, and we were playing from the waybacks on that par 5 number 2 at Dragonfly, and we were like 250 out maybe.
Yeah.
And dude, I hadn't taken out my 7-wood in like 3 weeks. Take it out,
smoked it
like 245 in the air, maybe about like 30 feet on the green. But I'm on the green. And I'm just like, trust the old 7-wood, baby. Trust the old 7-wood. Never lets me down.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I've just been having fun with it, dude. And it's just like my buddy Corey, who I play with all the time. He's just like, why don't you play that like normal? And I was like, I like my 3-iron too much, and it just, I was like, it's just me. But I was like, if I was playing somewhere else, like if we actually got away from our area code and played somewhere else, like I might do it, just because it probably falls into place for a lot of courses. I was like, especially like Chardonnay, Eagle Vines, like Kennedy course, like I'm like it would fall into place perfectly for all those. But I was like, just because he and I both have 2 kids, but his kids are older, but they're soccer prodigies, dude. Like his youngest daughter is a goalie, and she's already got like six college offers, or she's 11. She's already got like 6 college offers, and then his oldest is 13, and she's a striker or a scorer, I guess, and like she's already committed to Oregon, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, this is literally like, when I say I can't play, it's like, yeah, like we're traveling to Europe. We're going to,
for practice. Those freaking travel things are getting insane now.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. That video that you sent me of the baseball is so hilarious, dude. I'm like, yeah,
we're going to Serbia for 2 days, and if you guys can't, we got a guy who got loans. If you need to take out some money to take out on the house, but if you guys can't make it, if you're not committed,
Yeah, we got a guy. It's so good. I was like, dude, that's literally what it's gotten to now.
Dude, it's insane. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but not looking forward to that time when the time comes for a travel ball or any of those sporting events. But um, like I said, wrap up the pod here. If you guys are looking for some polos, and also, dude, Primo, they got those amazing joggers. Still great for the winter. They're great in the summer too. Honestly, they're really breathable. And Sunday Swagger obviously they got some really nice polos, great polos. They got a lot more classic looks. The solid
Mhm.
polos now they brought out, if you haven't seen those, where they just, it's kind of just like a solid polo, not really loud like their traditional ones. Anyone can wear them. They have a lot of deals too during Christmas, dude. There was like so many dang deals on their polos that it was just like, how you not grab one of these things? So definitely take a look down in the comments for our codes. It's usually like 4dads15. Again, we haven't done a pod in over a month, so I'm kind of blanking right now, but I know we have the discount codes and take advantage of those because got some good stuff. But yeah, what's our sign off? Don't forget to stay flying, go low.
That's right. And pray for birdies. G4.
Take care, everybody.